Hey guys, welcome back to the Zen Den. I want to talk some more about being prepared and different ways of thinking about things. And today I want to get into freeze-dried food versus dehydrated food. Now, I have a little bit of both. However, I have spent some time trying a lot of the freeze-dried stuff that I have purchased, and I'm not a really big fan of it. Not only that, the portion sizes are not gonna work for my family. Like, my husband's a big man and my son is a big man, and they eat more than what a lot of these companies consider a portion. And yeah, I know we need so many calories to get us through a day, but I don't think the days are going to be like the days are now. We're not going to be sitting around, doing the basic things in life. We're going to be booking it and, doing all sorts of things that we don't normally have to do. Um, so we're going to need a lot more calories. So the way I look at it is I dehydrate my stuff. I know what I've cooked. I know what it tastes like. It doesn't matter if it's freeze dried or dehydrated. You're still going to need water to rehydrate it. Okay, so freeze drying is a little bit lighter. You can still put them, you can put them both in Marlowe packages. You can put them both in glass jars. It doesn't really matter as long as they're airtight. Um, and the only thing that I can see that is, and we're talking minutes, it takes a little bit longer to rehydrate dehydrated food compared to freeze-dried food. So I don't think that's a big deal myself, but to each their own. And the thing about getting used to dehydrating your leftover food is the best way to do it is with leftovers. Nobody in my house likes leftovers. So I use that as an opportunity of having those ingredients to maybe change it into something else or to dehydrate it so I can rehydrate it and see what it turns out like and how much water I have to add, because I want to know like how to use the stuff I have, like, so I use it on a regular basis. Don't just think that you're going to fill this jar and it's going to sit in your room for 10 years. Use it, upgrade, as you learn new things, as your tastes change, as your kids grow up and they want different things. So really think outside the box when it comes to your dehydrating stuff, because you can do anything you want. You can dehydrate anything you want. Do you like it? Is that you got to make sure you like it. Is it safe? Did you follow all the guidelines? Is it properly dehydrated? Make sure you do know what you're doing, and you can put anything you want on your shelf. So yeah, and I really encourage you guys, even if you have a whole whack of freeze-dried food saved up, try some of it, because in a really crappy situation where you're already outside your comfort zone, now do you really want to eat a bunch of food that you've never tried and that you end up not liking? Or would you rather have your own stuff, dehydrated chili or your pasta sauce or whatever it is you eat, right? So something to think about. And freeze-dried stuff is super expensive. Like, um, I think it's way too expensive. And like I said, you're not even getting what you want. So a lot of these boxes come with a lot of bulk items, if you will. The cheaper stuff, maybe not without meat in it or whatever. So keep your eye open on that. Again, it's good to have a little bit of everything, and you are going to need water for rehydrating either way. So the other thing I want to talk about now, this goes for everybody. Do you have a plan? Like, have you talked to your family, the people that you live with, the people that are near you? Have you ever talked about what you would do? Like, what if the emergency is in the middle of the night? Well, you're most likely going to be home with your family, so that's a bonus. But do you have a plan now? Do you know where to meet? Do you know what to say? Do you know what to look for? Communication in a household is so important, especially with emergencies. You get the adrenaline rush, and fear causes you not to be able to think straight. So you really need to talk about these things long before they happen, to really, especially with children, to help them understand, listen, if this happens or if that happens, if mommy tells you to stay here or if daddy tells you to stay here, you have to listen. These are like the basics, the bones of what to do in case of an emergency. You know, make it a once a week where you guys have a meeting and, you know, everybody sits down for an hour or half an hour and just talk about it and ask people what their thoughts are. There's not always going to be one way to do things. Like, we all learn differently. Each person is different. So somebody might not feel comfortable climbing out a window, but they might feel comfortable, you know, doing it a different way. So be mindful of that, again, especially with children, as it's a you know, you can treat it kind of like as a game, like a jungle gym thing. Hey, let's, you know, with the guidance, proper guidance, maybe get a harness, you know, have some rope and a harness for if your kids do need to go out the window. All of these things can really make a difference, again, in a stressful situation. So, oh, and don't forget about your pets. um, Pets can be really good in a lot of different ways, especially if you have to travel on foot. You can get saddlebags. Like, I have two very, very large dogs, and you can get saddlebags for dogs so that they can help carry some of the things that you need to take with you. It's really important, you know, and dogs actually, most dogs actually really become quite attentive when you give them something to do, when you let them help you. They become very one with you, and they learn to trust you in a different way when you give them responsibility. So think about that, you know, for you guys that have dogs. I know they're cute and they're cuddly and all that, but let them serve you, you know. They all have their special gifts just like we do, right? They're all unique and different. You know, some dogs bark a lot. That doesn't make them a bad dog. It just means they bark a lot. Because I got one that barks a lot. Anyways, the other thing is, with this, do you have a plan? Do you have something ready? Like, if you have to leave the house? I call them a go bag. I've always called them a go bag since I was young. We always had to have a bag hanging by the door, you know, in case there was a fire, in case there was a natural disaster, or, you know what I mean? Like anything. We always had a bag by the door with our basic stuff on it, you know, like a change of clothes, maybe some matches to start a fire, a fishing line, a flashlight. Now it's really cool because you can have a pack for each one of your family members, and you can hang the headlamp. You can get those headlamps at the dollar store. They are so awesome because you need your hands in most situations. You can hang it on the outside of the pack, just off one of the loops, right? So right when you get to your pack, you already have the first thing you need if it's nighttime and you need that light. So something to think about, different things. You know, you should have a couple things of water in there. You should have a little bit of food in there. You should have some sort of a pan to prepare it in. Of course, fire starter. You know, maybe something for a shelter. Maybe a nice pair of, you know, if it's wintertime, a nice pair of thick gloves or socks, or, you know, things that you think you might need. And, you know, every season, change it out. Change it out so that the clothes are applicable in that bag. So, you know, you're not running out in the middle of winter with shorts and a t-shirt in the bag, because that would, that would really suck. A lot of people make up their go bags and then they don't go through them. You need to upgrade things, you know, have some basic first aid in there, maybe a pen and paper, maybe a compass, you know, maybe a map of the local area. You can get a lot into a backpack if you really be mindful of what you're putting in there and how it serves you and how important it is. You can get some really tiny solar powered. I have a flashlight, I think it's from Woods, and it's got the solar power built right into the flashlight, and it has a charger for your phone. So, I mean, you can find things that are really multi-purpose that would serve you better than, say, a flashlight with big D-cell batteries that you need to replace it with 6 more that are in your pack that weigh a ton, right? You know, all these things. Just think about them. The last thing I want to talk about is, okay, so a lot of people are buying, you know, cans, a bunch of canned soup and canned this and canned that. And, you know, it is the way to go. And it is important to have some stock on your shelf. Make sure you got lots of can openers. I just want to say that right now. Now, what I was really wanting to say was, when you're out and say you're going to go and buy 10 cans of soup, look to see if there's soup available to you in a glass jar. All of those glass jars, if they have a lug lid on them, will be reusable. You can put food back into them and use them for storage. And that goes for water bath canning, pressure canning. A lot of those jars are reusable. So not only are you getting the soup, but you're getting that jar. And you know it's going to last on your shelf. It's not going to rust. Yes, if you're in a place that has a lot of earthquakes, you're going to want to secure the glass properly. Excuse me. Level up. So you're going to want to secure the glass properly. But again, that's another one of these things that if you have the option to have 20 jars of soup in your pantry shelf, over 20 cans, you're going to have 20 jars to fill back up and preserve and put back on your shelf without any worries. So that's it for my chat today. I hope you guys found it helpful. I love all the comments, you guys. We're stronger when we're prepared. We have a clearer mind. Don't forget to tell your friends and family. Get everybody having this conversation. Lift your community. Lift your friends. You know, if people think you're nuts, you know, carry on. But you got to try. At least I think you got to try. That's why I'm on YouTube. That's why I'm here, is to help everybody be more prepared, more confident, and that's it. Thanks for coming by my channel. I bless you.